Dear USA,
Justice.
we've been needing to have this chat for a while.
Let's talk.
I don't just mean a few years, I mean since forever.
Let's talk about what has been going on under your watch.
You've done great things.
Let's talk about LGBTQ hate crimes.
You have a strong constitution and many fair rights.
People are being hurt, even killed, because of who they love,
You've come a long way from where you used to be.
because of the way they represent themselves.
Part of you's fighting back to help our world. But that part of you can leave this room right now.
Let's talk about police brutality.
I congratulate you on your efforts.
Men and women are being hurt, even killed, because of the color of their skin,
Keep trying. Never give up.
because of the bias against them.
Now the other part, the larger part.
Let's talk about racism.
The unaware rich part.
The color of your skin does not define you.
You don't care about more than a mansion.
It is how you're raised and your culture.
That part, the part that doesn't try, you are corrupt.
Let's talk about sexism.
You are a selfish place.
Girls and women are starving themselves to look thinner,
You need to get your act together.
while there are families who struggle to put food on the table.
Make a difference, a good one.
Girls and women are becoming objects. They're no longer humans. I sound angry, don't I? It's because I am.
You could join an organization that will solve our problems, or take a larger action, simply pick up a piece of trash.
How could you let this happen?
Why do you do things you do?
Together, we can fix this.
Why don't you care?
We must rise out of the ruins of stereotypes and hate in our society.
Caring is the easiest thing to do.
We can expand our minds a little.
However lazy you are,
We can look towards the positive.
however stupid,
We can find justice. I know you are capable of that.
Dear government, why don't you change the things that need fixing? They replied, it's too hard and there are too many options.
Dear Anonymous, why do you enforce what separates us? Why do you spend so much time mired in the past that you can't see through to the future until we feel like we are being blamed for our ancestors' mistakes, events already past that we have no control over?
Things don't need fixing, they said. People are happy.
You spend so much time addressing the sorrows of people like you, and yet fail to acknowledge this could be taking a toll on people like me, too, because we are not our ancestors.
And again, why are there guns and war?
It wasn't important what we felt about ourselves, no. It mattered far more what others thought of us and how to show allyship to them.
People have tried and succeeded, and people have tried and failed. What makes you think you will succeed? Dear government, change one problem that needs fixing.
Best to apologize for things I didn't do.
They replied, how will you do that?
Best to not say anything at all.
I replied, by using my rights. You can't stop me from petitioning.
Best to let myself sink into the shadows, silent and ashamed. Better to just sit there than speak my mind.
They replied, what change do you want? There's change already. Free states, gay rights, less slavery. But you can make more.
You will see what we can do.
Dear President,
Why?
let's talk and you just listen.
Haven't you heard that a house divided itself cannot stand?
Let's take a walk and you follow.
What possessed you to come to the conclusion that all Muslims are behind ISIS?
Can I ask you some questions?
Why would you take away any person who is not straight right to marry?
And make sure your answers are true.
Why would you take away Obamacare?
Don't talk, just listen.
Why do you think about no one but yourself?
Can I give you advice and you just take it and put it into your work?
How is it possible for you to believe that all Mexicans are rapists?
You're not better than me.
Why are you so thick-headed that you want to build a wall?
We are all the same person.
Why do you think that's a good idea?
Have you ever been lonely? Do you feel lonely?
Why are you a horrible person?
Were you lonely as a child?
Please answer my question with the truth.
What did you do when you were a kid?
What happened to you that screwed you up?
Dear President, what do you think about gun violence?
Do you think it's a good idea for people to be shot? If someone told you that your family was shot, how would you feel?
I would feel terrible.
Why?
Dear America, I'd like to ask you some questions and talk about some things that you need to hold together. Let's begin.
Why do you sit and watch as black people get abused by white policemen? Why do you sit and watch as I, and I'm sure many other whites, feel ashamed of what our race is doing? You once had waters that had fish living and swimming in them, but now you just have chemicals instead.
Why wasn't it until 1920 when women could finally vote? Why do we have homeless people? Why do you wait until 2015 to finally give gay people their rights?
Oh right, those people aren't real to you. Sorry. Isn't it true that the First Amendment of your Constitution says that anyone can exercise any religion? I forgot that you also put Japanese I forgot that you also put the Japanese in internment camps because of an attack that most of them in the U.S. would never wish or want.
I wonder how many presidents you had. 44.
Only one was black, right? And there hasn't even been a woman president, correct? Or an agender one, or a gender fluid one. I wish I had lived during the civil rights movement so I could tell all the racist whites that they were going to lose.
Not to mention your whole education isn't the greatest either.
Now for my final words. Why are you known for all these bad things? Are there even good things about you? Tell me, please do. Oh, sorry, but I can't hear you, especially over the protests, over the cries for help, over the whites who feel ashamed, over the homeless, over the hurt, over the pain, over everything that we feel that we can't gain. So let your people do what they must to bring this great land to something we can all trust.
Do you still think you're perfect?
Dear Constitution, do you understand the institution you uphold is the master of illusion? Lies and problems weaken our nation, yet you cannot find the solution. Dear Constitution, do you think of minorities? Do you make poverty one of your priorities? Do you think of racism? Do you think of air pollution?
Dear America, how can you fit 100 million people on your grounds? Oh, right, you can't. We used up your ground, tore up your trees, and killed so many animals so we can make room for ourselves. You don't care what people do to you. They say, oh, global warming isn't happening. We aren't killing the earth. With every forest we cut down, every road trip we take, and every time we throw something in the trash.
Dear Constitution, how do you feel about homophobia, and what are you going to do about it? How do you feel about the way people treat the mentally ill? How we blame shootings and crimes on them? What are you going to do about it?
Dear America, why does the thinness of women matter to you? People are starving themselves so they can please you. People losing their jobs because they're too fat. In your world, there's a perfect woman, a perfect skin tone, a perfect life. But this doesn't really exist. No one is perfect. People try to be perfect just to please you. Magazines filter skin tone, body image, body shape, and face to make a perfect person. And you think this is the perfect world, or do you?
Dear Constitution, do you understand the equality promised to the people after the American Revolution? The once unbiased law who looked at everyone as equal now finds a way to discriminate against the people. Dear Constitution, do you know about the hate crimes that sweep the nation? The things that fill our minds with frustration, the things that make our hearts heavy, the things that create irritation and exasperation. Dear Constitution, have you seen the faces of the victims of gun violence? Do you hear their screams or the sirens of the ambulances? Do you see what it is doing to our country? Have you seen the news lately? Have you heard the things people say? Don't love unless you love straightly. You can do what you want, that's okay, unless it's different than our way. Dear Constitution, do you see the failing of education? We still use the same system, even though it is broken. You blame so many problems on migration, but correlation is not causation. Dear Constitution, your words are neglected by those who need them the most. We need your guidance and your words to help our nation. Those in power must follow your rules of cooperation. In order to survive, things need to change. We need to revise.
Dear America, do you really believe all that I just said? Because I think you don't. But I don't know you. You've been around since the beginning. I'm just seeing the worst of your time. You have seen humans evolve, change, and come up with new ideas. I don't believe you're bad. I just believe that the people who live on you are evil hypocrites. Not all, but some. You can't change, but the people who live on you can.
Dear America, please tell me why you act so perfect. Why are you acting so strong? Strength is the power, you know. People stand up behind you for their freedom and rights, not to make everyone afraid.
Dear America, why do you act so perfect? You act like you are better than everyone else.
Dear America, why are the police so violent? Why is everyone so violent? People die and get injured for careless fights. Yet, some people recover like Gabriel Giffords who were shot in the head 30 feet away.
Dear America, don't just sit back and watch your people struggle. Of hunger, of death, of having nowhere to sleep, of not having enough money to live on. You just sit there like you don't see any of this happening, and we know you do.
Dear America, thank you though for making this place my home.
Dear America, are we ever going to change?
Dear future America, what is life going to be like?
Dear future President, I hope you know that America is special, and that you want to help us, not to think of power.
Dear future President, I hope to make this world a cleaner place.
Dear future President, I hope you know that fighting isn't the solution to everything, but talking cannot solve every problem.
Dear future President, I hope we can help all those children sleeping on the streets, wondering where they're going to sleep the next night. Somewhere close by, a child is hungry for food. hopeful that today's meal will be better than yesterday's, because there's nothing yesterday. Nothing as bad as yesterday than today.
Dear future president, I hope that you can stop the unnecessary gun violence, that so many people don't die.
Dear future president, can you tell me what your life would be like as a president? Or are you just going to sit back and watch us struggle?
Dear future president, help your people.
Dear America, please tell me why you act so perfect.
Constitution.
Dear Donald Trump,
How do you feel?
first things first,
Constantly used every single day.
thank you for being such an amusement
Are you abused?
to the country today.
Do you ever have a say?
I would also like to thank you
Dear Constitution,
for nothing,
do you separate right from wrong?
nothing at all.
Did you know you help us resolve issues?
Let's get down to the question, shall we?
Every single day,
Why do you treat women, and I quote, like crap?
all the time.
Why do you think that you're better than everyone?
Do you get sleep from all you give us?
You say that you cherish women.
We, the Constitution,
If you cherish them so much,
put love,
why do you bully them?
use them,
If politics is a disgrace,
care into you.
and good people don't go into government,
Every day,
if you're so good,
all the time.
also, why are you going to build a wall?
We look you in the eyes.
Have you had bad experiences with the Mexicans?
We look you in the heart.
Speaking of them, why do you want to get rid of them?
We look you in the soul.
Now, I have something to thank you about.
For gun control resolution.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule
For abortion rights and decisions.
to read these questions.
Thank you, Constitution.
Please get a good night's sleep.
For tomorrow will be yet
Another.
busy day.
Bill of Rights. What is the point of you? Oh, right. You are supposed to protect the citizens from their own government. Do you do that? I guess, sometimes. But what about the Second Amendment? How is that protecting us right now with all of the hate crimes?
Dear presidential candidates,
The First Amendment. So, can the White House have a Christmas tree on the lawn? I didn't think so.
Republicans and Democrats,
The Sixth Amendment. You get a lawyer even if you can't afford one. Is that really happening?
why are you running? I hope you're running to improve this country.
The Eighth. Is the death penalty really not a cruel and unusual punishment?
You spend so much time attacking the other candidates.
Apparently, you haven't been fully protecting us.
So what will you do for us?
That's too bad, because right now, the U.S. is jank.
Dear Donald Trump, why do you not care? Why are you such a hypocrite? Dear Bill of Rights, thank you for keeping us safe when the government crashes down. 1 minute you're dissing the Mexican people and saying that we should build a wall at the border so they don't get into the country. And then you say that you love their culture and their spirit. Thank you for establishing my rights in this beautiful country. People are suffering to come to this country, and when they get here, they're greeted by hate and inequality. All they get is people like you saying that they have no rights and we should send them back to their home country. And all they wanted was a new chance. Thank you for my freedom of speech, more or less. My freedom of assembly and religion. Yet we have the freedom of religion. Why do you want to get rid of all Muslims? They're just practicing their religion. How would you feel if someone said that we need to get rid of every Christian in America? People are attacking mosques out of pure hate for Muslims. Thank you for trusting states to make their own rights if you don't establish them. What gives you the right to call every woman you don't like a lesbian? You do know that being a lesbian is not insulting. Thank you for keeping us safe, Bill of Rights. Thank you.
Dear government,
If you look up justice definition, you'll read justice, justice, justice. Now, just behavior or treatment, a concern for justice, peace, and genuine respect for people. Synonyms: fairness, justice, fair play, fair-mindedness, equity, even-handedness, impartiality, objectivity, neutrality, honesty, righteousness, morals, and mortality.
have you ever birthed a child? No, I didn't think so. Then why do you think you have the right to tell women that they can't have an abortion?
Isn't America supposed to have justice for all?
Why do you create a law that will tell women that they must give birth if they get knocked up?
That does not sound very just for the mother. Don't you want America to be just?
A child was bestowed upon them. Children are not gifts for everyone. For some, they are just a responsibility.
It's not fair for the child either, going through your life knowing you're a mistake. Does that sound just?
Why nose into some woman's business of what she wants to do with her unborn child? That decision will not affect you. That's none of your business.
Your job is to enforce justice, yet you make the most unjust decisions as possible.
Please, I beg of you, get out of other people's business. Sincerely, people who have had their rights stolen.
Is it not sad when people lie about what you mean?
Do you think it's fair to say someone is not welcome because of their religion?
I didn't think so.
You say everyone has freedom of religion.
Yet, kids are still forced into religion at school.
Do you actually think that someone should say under God even if they are not Christian?
You give others freedom of speech, but what happens when speech causes a bad action?
Bad things happen.
What happens when a right to bear arms lets a white man kill an African American without a consequence?
It's actually a shame that this country is so intolerant that we actually need to protect people's lives instead of morals.
Dear First Amendment, oh, how I dearly wish how people wouldn't lie about what you mean.
Dear Bill of Rights, I asked you why you were vague, why you hide intent, why you were general enough that things can slip.
You say life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, then you say we got what we asked, we got less.
You replied, you said that you could not be specific as they would be so long and no one would want to read or write.
Say now we can get married, isn't that what we asked? Next day we can be fired, evicted, yeah, I'll pass.
I asked why you made justice both harder and easier to achieve, why you addressed only 10 things that some seem to be way too general while others seem to be way too specific.
Money and time, people don't have enough for themselves. A kid would just take those things off the shelves.
You replied, you said that they were that way for a reason. Justice has always been a difficult thing to chase. You said they were that way because it was necessary.
Driving to another state where people tell you you're ruining lives, it's easier to get guns even before no flies.
I asked you why you were so important, but yet people ignore you. They just don't really seem to care.
Hate crimes are rising to dozens a day. People don't know you can't pray away gay.
You answered, you said that you have the illusion of being a boring old history document that isn't important to everyday purposes.
Headscarves don't mean destruction and kills. Race doesn't matter in dollar bills.
I asked you why in your last amendment you say that whatever's written here is up to the states. You say you can't protect it if it isn't written.
Do people ever stop to think that our nation is formed on one thing, a document written 100 years ago to dishonor a king?
You replied, you said that no matter how long people could write and revise, they couldn't cover everything. So there may be some things that will be some important things that were missed because they do and they did what they can.
That corruption runs rampant, we just hope it stops from the seats of Congress all to the top.
Dear Donald Trump,
Dear Second Amendment,
a presidential candidate is hardworking, kind, someone who gives back to the community, someone who can run our country. That is not you. Ignorant, ungrateful, hypocrite who can physically not feel compassion.
a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Why do you run for office? Who knows? What qualifications do you have? What standards do you exceed? I didn't think any.
You are part of the Bill of Rights, but all you give is the right for others to harm others. You never protected those who were killed with the hand of a gun.
Why do you want to build a wall to stop immigrants from coming to the U.S.? Have you ever heard of the shovel?
You are only relevant for your time. Back then, people had to defend themselves. Nowadays, people are using guns to shoot themselves. You don't understand that you allow so many to be killed.
By the way, I'm moving to Canada if you win. Oh wait, you won't win.
You allow guns to get into the wrong hands. Please, Second Amendment, it's time.
Dear future president, here's a few things you ought to know if you want to govern our country right.
Dear everybody and nobody in particular, you made me feel bad about who I am. I'm hurting, but you can't see.
Please make sure that our justice system is fair. Make sure that we are taxed equally and that you are voted in fairly.
For letting girls and women everywhere be undermined. I'm hurting, but do you see?
Make sure that you can satisfy not only the Democrats, but the Republicans.
For not helping my friends on the other side. I'm hurting, but you can't see.
When you are done, the next president is voted in, not just because they're the best Democrat, but because they're the best candidate overall.
For stripping me bare of all my rights. I'm hurting, but do you see?
Make sure that our Army is the 9th to allow LGBT people in the Army because we don't yet.
For letting someone in America die of suicide every 12.3 minutes. I'm hurting, but do you see?
Please let people not be afraid to identify how they want without oppressing others' beliefs. I would love if you stood for more in the election.
For letting someone get abused because of their identity even though it's their right. I'm hurting, but you can't see. For banning something that can inform someone and not banning something that can kill someone.
I'm hurting, but do you see?
Dear future president, please don't write back. Don't tell me how you failed. Don't tell me all your excuses. Please don't write back.
For telling me no when I said I was hurting, America. Why? I'm hurting, you know, but you don't care.
You question so many parts of society now.
I mean, what's not to question?
Society is messed up.
Society tells us this is our generation to make a change.
Because of society, I'm in a lower rank.
Society tells me I can't do much.
But I can tell you what you need to hear.
Let's start off with presidential candidates.
Great candidates this year, am I right?
No. Bernie Sanders.
Does age matter?
So what? He's 74.
You're either too young or too old in society.
Why would age matter?
Donald Trump was only 5 years younger.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders was an activist as a teenager.
And what was Donald Trump as a teen?
Definitely not an activist.
Bernie Sanders was still an activist as an adult.
And what was Donald Trump?
A member of the Ku Klux Klan.
He said it himself, so don't doubt our facts.
Hillary Clinton.
Oh, she's definitely unique.
She's kind, honest, touching, and did I mention that she's a thief?
Many people dislike that I am saying this, but let me finish.
Before I get criticized, understand that I have my opinions.
And you have yours.
Oh yes, it's true.
It's information she didn't want divulged.
Then I guess she shouldn't have kept her records of stealing an email.
Society is advanced.
Don't you think we can get into an email?
We have no good candidates.
Now what I have castigated each of you, allow me to take a moment to criticize you all at once.
Republicans and Democrats.
Why are you running?
I hope you're running to improve this country.
You spend so much of your time attacking the other candidates, but what will you do for us?
I just want to live in a society where I feel safe.
I'm at a lower rank in society because of who I am.
In society, my opinion doesn't matter to anyone of a higher rank.
The Bill of Rights is supposed to protect me from the government.
But how am I supposed to believe that?
When I see it used for evil.
Bill of Rights, what is the point of view?
Oh right, you're supposed to protect citizens from their own government.
Do you do that?
I guess sometimes.
How's the Second Amendment protecting us right now, with all of the hate crimes?
Is the death penalty really not a cruel and unusual punishment?
Apparently you haven't been fully protecting us, and that's too bad, because right now the U.S. is jink.
I only criticize the first 10 amendments.
But what about the other 30 amendments?
I pity society.
I'm expected to be perfect.
All of these expectations.
Do you know how it feels to be put down every day?
Being a girl.
To be underestimated every single day.
Dear society.
Is there something wrong with me?
Because I've decided I don't want to clown contour.
Just look like society's perfect image of a girl.
What's so attractive about?
Painting my face with makeup,
tight clothes,
big hips,
big chest,
and Kylie Jenner lips.
What's so attractive about?
Light skin,
long hair,
flat stomach,
and a thigh gap.
Tell me, society.
Are you perfect?
Oh, dear Constitution.
Dear Donald Trump.
How do you feel?
First things first.
Constantly used every single day.
Thank you for being such an amusement.
Are you abused?
To the country today.
Do you ever have a say?
I would also like to thank you.
Dear Constitution.
For nothing.
Do you separate right from wrong?
Nothing at all.
Do you help us resolve issues?
Let's get down to the questions, shall we?
Every day.
Why do you treat women, and I quote, like crap?
All the time.
Why do you think that you're better than everyone?
Do you get sleep from all you give us?
You say that you cherish women.
We the Constitution.
If you cherish them so much.
But love.
Why do you bully them?
Use and...
If politics is a disgrace.
Care to you.
And good people don't go into the government.
Every day.
If you're so good.
All the time.
Also, why are you going to build a wall?
We look you in the eyes.
Have you had bad experiences with the Mexicans?
We look you in the heart.
Speaking of them, why do you want to get rid of them?
We look you in the soul.
No, I have something to thank you about.
For gun control resolution.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
For abortion rights and decisions.
To read these questions.
Thank you, Constitution.
Please get a good night's sleep.
For tomorrow will be yet
another
busy day.
Dear officer, do you know how many of your fellow police officers lost their lives last year? 130. 48 of those deaths were caused by an accident or an incident involving a car. A car, not a gun.
Dear Second Amendment, you state we have the right to bear arms. Back then was another time. Now we're losing lives. Children shot without goodbyes.
Now, officer,
Would you like to know how many black men were killed by your fellow officers last year?
Dear our beloved Second Amendment, the U.S. has the most gun deaths, yet we don't have time to protect. It'll write a law to save our lives. We're such a developed nation, one who lets killing be some of our people's concentration.
300. 300 black men lost their lives last year to police officers. 100% of those men were between the ages of 15 and 34, some not even men yet. These men were killed by your guns.
Other places have banned, with 207 deaths a year, almost no guns in hand.
Look at these numbers. Can you see the problem now? Now that we couldn't breathe, now that we put our hands up, now that we've lost over 300 lives to unnecessary brutality.
We haven't banned, with 30,000 deaths a year, guns in every hand, of your fellow officers.
Dear USA,
Justice.
we've been out this chat for a while.
Let's talk.
And I just mean a few years, I mean since forever.
Let's talk about what has been going on under your watch.
You've done great things.
Let's talk about LGBTQ hate crimes.
You have a strong constitution with many fair rights.
People are getting hurt, even killed, because of who they love,
We've come a long way from where it used to be.
because of the way they represent themselves.
Parties fighting back to help our world. That part of you can leave this room right now.
Let's talk about police brutality.
I congratulate you on your efforts.
Men and women are being killed because of the color of their skin,
Keep trying and never give up.
because of the bias against them.
Now the larger part,
The color of the skin does not define you.
the underwear rich part.
It's how you're raised and your personality.
You don't care about more than I mentioned.
Let's talk about sexism.
That part of you that doesn't try, you are corrupt. You are a selfish place.
Girls and women are starving themselves to look thinner,
You need to get your act together.
while there are families who struggle to put food on the table.
Make a difference.
Girls and women are becoming objects. They are no longer humans.
A good one.
I sound angry, don't I?
You could donate to an organization that will solve our problems.
Because I am.
Take a larger action or simply pick up a piece of trash.
How could you let this happen?
Why do you do the things you do?
Together, we can fix this.
Why don't you care?
We can rise out of the ruins of stereotypes and hate in our society.
Caring is the easier thing to do.
We can expand our minds a little.
However lazy you are,
We can look towards the positive.
however stupid,
We can find justice. I know you are capable of that.
Dear Amendment Number 2, we do not know what to do with you. People tell me guns work every day. More people tell me don't touch a gun anymore.
Dear Donald Trump, how do you sleep at night knowing your hair looks like a floppy piece of bologna?
Dear Amendment Number 2, what's your deal? Why'd you pass? What do you mean? Put it in plain sight.
Dear Donald Trump, how do you say make America great again when Obama is constantly trying to fix what Republicans did?
Dear Amendment Number 2, use your power. Use your function. We need someone to take down the gun judge.
Dear Donald Trump, why would you think that you being rich is more appealing than you being good for America?
Dear Amendment Number 2, tell me loud. Tell me loud and clear who you, Amendment Number 2, really are.
Dear Donald Trump, you say Mexicans are the worst people to send to America? How are you better?
Dear Amendment Number 2, what does Amendment Number 2 do? Who do you target? Or Gap? Or Walmart? Because Walmart sells guns. But if you helped us, maybe they wouldn't.